Welcome back, or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day 18 of pause. There's only just a few days left until the solstice, the deep pause of the year, the deep stillness of the year. I can feel it looming within me. It's quite amazing. And so I've decided on what we're going to be doing for January, and it's called Center. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's about how we commit to practices that support our wellness in our lives, and how we gather ourselves and commit to ourselves in the deep of us. So yeah, Center for January. But today we're in pause. So come sit with me and we shall pause together. Come. So yesterday I had a yoga day, and one of the girls was saying that she sits when I do this talky bit in this position here. And actually a few days ago I realized that I'm not sitting like this at all anymore, and the front of my feet were really tight. So I'm going to sit like this because I sit a lot in like cross-legged position in my office. I sit like this, cross-legged, but this way, not so much. So I'm going to stretch out the front of my feet as we sit together today. So let's pause and settle. Land in. And you let the dust settle. I love imagining that it's like the leaves swirling around like in autumn. And that slowly as the leaves settle, I get a sense of me as my shape, my weight, my breath, this moment in my body. What skills do you have? How do you put them into place right now, this moment? How do you pause? Nice. So come, let's move. So come lie on your back to begin. Lying on your back, your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the floor. Let your spine land, unpack your shoulders. Really take up as much space as you can as you lie here on the floor. Feel that there is space. And then begin to rock your knees from side to side. So on my yoga day yesterday, 5 of the participants were actually daily yogas, you guys. And so it was so amazing being in the room with my guys, my yogis. I was trying to look for an analogy this morning, and it was a strange analogy I came up with. It was like having a samurai sword that was those incredibly sharp samurai swords, and that it just was like seamless, and there was no friction. As it was just beautiful. It was just so beautiful. So there'll be loads more coming in the future. Drop your knees down towards the right and just pause there. And just let yourself land. Soften. So what I notice in my body is when I pause in things, in the beginning, I'm holding the pose, and then my muscles become fatigued, and I need to surrender to the pose. So, see now, after being here for a while, can you begin to really melt and surrender into this shape? Your knees are down to the right, and you're just really deepening your weight into the floor. So, can you get incredibly heavy and grounded? Nice. Come back up to center. Drop your knees down towards the left and notice the dynamic within you. For me, in the beginning now, I'm holding the pose. I have muscular engagement. I'm a little bit up in the pose. And now, after time has passed, then I begin to surrender to the pose. There's this sense of yielding into the shape, getting really heavy backwards. We were using that sense of weight, I think it was on Friday. And so really cultivate weight right now. How would you get really stuck to the floor? And then come back up to center. Drop your knees down towards the right and then draw your left foot up so that it rests on your right knee, and pause here. So you can either create a shelf for your left knee or you can pull your left knee gently. And again, feel the muscular engagement and then the yielding into this shape, the yielding into this gesture. Get heavy. So often I notice in myself that I focus on the up part of me. So my leg is over my shoulder. So I feel the surface that's facing the ceiling as such. And then I drop my awareness into the surface that's feeling and sensing the floor. So let your attention drop backwards. So it's more about the floor than anything else. Like, how do you really feel the floor behind you? Like back of your hands, back of your forearms, back of your shoulders. A little bit more on the right than the left. On the back of the right hip, side of the right hip, on the side of the right leg. Really feel the surface, the plane of contact. Nice. All the way back. Over to the other side. Drop your knees to the left. Draw your right foot up. Let it rest onto your left knee. And either create a shelf or pull gently. And so we'll go through the different dynamics that happen. So I'm muscularly, I don't know how to say it. Anyways, I'm engaged. I'm engaged muscularly. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. Anyways, and so I'm engaging, and now I begin to soften and settle. And then I move from the front of my body and I really sink and deepen into the back of my body. And there's just more weight, more heavy, more depth into the floor. Because pausing doesn't just happen, it's like a process. It's like balance isn't just a rigidity, it's a process. It's an evolving, ever-changing dynamic in the body. So same thing, pausing, yielding, softening is a process rather than an end goal. Because we don't want to stay there. That's not what we're doing here. And come all the way back. Nice. Draw the right knee up, squeeze it in. And then draw the left knee up, squeeze it in. Nice. So stretch both legs up towards the ceiling. I'm going to turn sideways for this. We're going to work a little bit into our inner thighs and pause in there.
So bring both knees up so that your knees are over your hips. And then draw the right knee out to the side. And then bring it back up to center. Draw the left knee to the side. And back up to center. Straighten your right leg and bring it out to the side. So my back is flat on the floor as I do this. So extend into that right heel. Breathe into your belly. Feel the engagement. I'm not going to say that word again. Your muscles engaging. There you go. Feel your muscles engaging. And extend into your heel. Keep your left hip on the floor. Nice. Come back to center, bend your knee, lengthen the left leg and bring it out to the side. And I'm keeping my right hip on the floor as I extend into the left leg. Nice. And then we're going to travel. Stretch the right leg out to the side. Come back up. Stretch the left leg out to the side. Back up. Right leg, side. Back up. Left leg, side. And then back up. So we're going to edit this a little bit. So drop your right knee out to the side, but now let your right thigh travel all the way out. And to do that, your left hip is going to lift off the floor. So my whole pelvis is tilted, but my left knee is still center. Okay? Come back up to center. Right thigh goes out, and then right thigh goes down to the floor, and then come back. And notice how your left elbow is helping you. Right thigh out, right thigh down, center, right thigh out, right thigh down. So stay there with your right thigh on the floor, stretch your left leg and bring your left leg more towards the left. So now my right leg is on the floor and my left leg is going left. And my left elbow is really pushing down. It's stabilizing my torso because if I don't do that, I'll just rock back to center. So my left elbow is really strong as I pull my left leg to the left. I'm putting my right hand on the inner surface of my right knee, and that's support. And even just the feedback of my hand and the warmth of my hand is really nice. So can you surrender and yield here? So there's bits of you that are on. You can't let go of that left shoulder, that left elbow, but you can soften into your belly and your legs. How do you do that? Nice. And now slowly sweep the left leg over towards the right. Create a shelf for your left leg and just pause there. I'm going to reach that left arm long. I'm going to turn my head towards the left. And just pause there. You can, if you want, oops, Daisy, bring your left foot down to the floor. For me, that's a bit too deep. I lose connection when I do that. I squish things and they become blurry. Whereas here with my foot floating, with my hand gently holding the underside of my knee, I feel really strong. Nice. Bend your knee, come back to center, other side. So drop your left thigh out to the side and then bring your left thigh all the way down. Come back up. Left thigh side, left thigh down, all the way up. Left thigh down, left thigh all the way down, up. Next time your left thigh goes out and then all the way down, pause there. Pull the right knee more towards the right and then extend into the right leg. As always, you can decide that no, stretching your right leg makes it too deep. See what you need to do yourself. I'm going to bring my left hand to the inner surface of my left knee. And actually, it's really amazing how it changes my ability to lengthen my right leg. When I have that sense of the proprioception of my knee I kind of generally know where my knee is, but it's not very precise, whereas my fingertips and my hands are incredibly precise in where I map them and how I know them. So me bringing my hand to my knee increases the proprioception of that left leg. And as a result, I can begin to lean into the right leg more because I understand more of the movement. It's like I'm sharing the proprioception of my hand into my knee. Come back to center. Stretch both legs up. Roll into your ankles. And then roll in the other direction. Super. Roll onto your belly. Hi. So bring both hands so they're wide and wiggle your chest a little bit so you feel like your hips are flat to the floor. And then drop your head down. So lengthen, my thighs are kind of close enough together, okay? So lengthen your right leg up and then lift your head up, lower down. Lengthen your left leg up, lift your head up. So as my head lifts and drops, my leg is lifting up behind me. I'm keeping my legs straight. Lift your leg, lift your head. Lift your leg, lift your head. Next time your leg lifts and your head lifts, pause. Yeah. You can drop your elbows down actually. So drop your elbows down, they're wide. And my right leg is lifting up behind me and I'm lifting up through my head at the same time. And I have this sense of really amazing length happening through the back of my torso, the deep of my belly. The other leg is really pushing into the floor and I have a sense of stability, lowering down. Nice, left leg lifts. Pause. I feel somehow that my elbows on the floor is really supporting my chest to open and my collarbones to widen. I feel an amazing sense of strength through my thoracic inlet, the front of my throat, and lowering down. Nice. So bend your right knee and just reach back and scratch your right ankle. Nothing fancy, just like touch your foot, scratch your foot. Big toe side, baby toe side, heel, sole of your foot, all the toes. Nice. Other side. Left foot, touch your foot. Really travel around. So what I love is that, my yoga, there's nothing extraordinary. Well, some of them are, but a lot of them are just ordinary movements. Like, can you touch your foot? It's really important. And then down. Pause and rest there. Nice. So we're going to do yogic swimming. So stretch your arms out long and then reach your left arm up and your right leg and coming down. And then your right arm up and your left leg and down. And let it be that what's pushing into the floor is really pushing and what's floating in the air is really light and floaty. Find a smoothness, a sense of connectivity from your fingertips into the opposite foot. And from your fingertips into the opposite foot. Nice. One more time. Each side. Super cool. Come lie on your back. Bring the soles of your feet together. Walk your shoulders away from your hips. And then push your feet down and lift your hips up in the air. So my soles of my feet are together. If for any reason your ankles don't like that, then just bring your feet flat and come into the normal bridge. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And then just see how it is to wiggle a little bit here. So there's a floating, a bobbing, a rocking in the pelvis. For me, what I love is that as my pelvis changes and rocks from side to side, there's something that happens between my shoulder blades, like a snake-like movement. And that's really yummy. Drop your bum to the floor, interlock your fingers, and then roll your hands. Draw a big circle towards the ceiling with your knuckles. And as you do this, feel that there's a clock between your shoulder blades. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. Drop your arms down overhead and pause. You're in. So as my spine settles, I want to walk my shoulders again further away from my pelvis. It's really interesting how I have to reassess my position as things soften and settle. You might notice that there's a bobbing or a shaking or a movement in your thighs and your legs. It's really normal. It's called neurogenic tremoring. It's your body's natural response. Nice. Draw your knees up, stretch one leg long, and then the other leg long, and just pause there. Can you stop? I was thinking about the sound of silence, you know, that amazing song, Art and Garfunkel. Yeah, the sound of silence. What is the sound of silence? Have a wonderful day. I hope it's really amazing. Thanks to those of you who came for the yoga day yesterday. It really warmed the cockles of my heart. It was just amazing. You swam, we dipped in my river. There was a sauna and hot tubs, and just really delicious, yummy movement. So thanks. And then January is center. So let us center ourselves. Let us really gather into the deep of ourselves as we move into the new year. And yeah, thanks for joining me. See you all tomorrow. Ciao.